I did not have in mind of making a video about the Scions Command Squad after so much time after their release, but they keep popping up as very good deals in many online shops, so I have decided to give them a bit of glory on the channel. Are they worth or not? How different they are from the other stormtroopers we reviewed a while ago? Well, we have 5 quite normal boxes, let's see what is inside. We will unbox the Tempestus Prime, since I like his look, but I'm pretty sure there will be little difference for the other guys. So let's praise the commander's initiative, always leading from the front. I really like the cape, and finally another bearded guy. They are so rare. A backpack, a bolt pistol and an additional set of hands complete the set. Let's immediately look at his nice lovely figure. There are some good screen eyes, a shouting expression and a nice goatee. So I would say that this man is a refined man for sure. The armor is quite bulky, with a very nice paint job with these contrasts of light blue and gold. The arm's articulation is good for the elbow, but limited by the lack of butterfly joints at the shoulder. This amazing cape, made of black and brown soft plastic, is the real strength for this figure. There is a flying servo skull on the right shoulder, which is glued in. On the front there are the typical imperialarmy decorations and buttons, because you never want to forget his faction. The cape itself is not glued to the figure, so you can decide to either dress it or not, and you have the backpack in that case. But I love it, and I believe it confers much personality to our commander. Scions are elite troopers, and the commander needs to show this on the battlefield, even with this high quality dressing. The articulation for the legs is good, even if probably I will pose him standing, overlooking the battlefield, shouting some orders, and why not, fire some accurate shots here and there. We have quite different characters in the command squad, with some very specific pieces of equipment, but all sharing the same general look and feel. The medic, for example, has an almost identical look but a different face sculpt, still using the same red beret. On the left forearm he also has some additional monitors, probably for screening his patients. All these figures have a nicely screened faces with good degree of movement, since there are no armor plates that impede any range. Not sure why the armor leaves the neck so exposed, but this is GW design, so we can't really complain with JOYTOY. Arm's articulation is good for a full rotation, and also regarding the elbow joint, achieving an almost 90 degrees angle. Despite all the armor plates that are present on the arms, the hands are good enough for holding the weapons and its portable medipack. The real problem are the shoulders, since with this big torso armor and pauldrons, the lack of butterfly joints is particularly hot topic with all Scions. Legs articulations instead are quite good, similar to what we have seen for the Imperial Army figures. There is nice inking here and there to give it a more battle-worn look. At least, most of the figures of the command squad do not need to aim rifles, so the shoulder problem is less evident. The medic only needs to wield his pistol and carry the bag on the other side, maybe in a running pose to not waste any time while trying to save his comrades. Given the very small feet, in order to make them keep the balance, the use of a base is mandatory. They are all provided in the box for all figures. The radio operator has this radio backpack with this big tube with a telephone handset. I guess it is. The tubes are made of a very flexible black plastic, no idea why a phone cable should be this thick, but who am I to complain if everything looks so cool. In the end, our radioman has a shouting expression that you cannot avoid putting him in this kind of pose, talking to the phone, maybe while relaying the commands from the Tempestus Prime. Not sure if that is the correct position for handling the handset, but it seems to me the easiest way without twisting the cables too much. Again, it looks cool, and there is enough nonsense in 40k to make this setup even the correct one. For some reason, the HQ includes a badass grenadier, who is the only one to hide his face behind the mask. Armor-wise, nothing changes, besides very small details here and there. There is a big and chunky grenade launcher that, to be honest, has not that many details. It is a big piece of metal grey plastic with the usual ridiculous caliber we all know for Warhammer figures. At least it is not being aimed like a rifle, instead it is positioned almost at the belt level, which, lucky for us, it is also the thinnest part of the torso. So the arms have no problems in grabbing it and help us posing him in some aggressive stance, dispensing the piece of the Emperor to some unfortunate heretic. I think that the Grenadier, together with the Tempestus Prime, is my favorite character so far. Time to put them all together on a rotating stand and taking to a general look. Overall, they are very cool figures, with a great painting job and some very nice face sculpt and painting. I think that the paint job is better than the one used for the Cadians. JOYTOY seems to use completely different technologies for painting them. The banner is really awesome. It is big and well painted, one of the best I have seen so far. Articulations for all Scions figures is limited by the shoulders. Hopefully JOYTOY will find new ways to improve posing options, as they are, like the Cadians, they are victims of their design, with those big armored torsos and pauldrons. Compared to the Scions stormtroopers released earlier, there is not much difference in style, but this is expected since they are pretty much the same guys, but with different phases in the equipment. They share all pros and cons, but the shoulder limitations are less painful because of the equipment they need to handle. Size-wise, they are identical, and you can probably swap weapons among them if you want. In my case, I will just stick to their out-of-the-box design, since I like it as it is. If you're curious about more comparisons, take a look at the videos about the Cadians, I will put a link here. In conclusions, if you like the Scions, they are easy pickings, they have great shelf presence and the articulation limitations are acceptable in most cases. But if you don't like them, then they are also easy escapes. Yep, you either love them or hate them. Having said that, have a nice rest of the day, hopefully without struggling too much when posing your Scions.